Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Namaste and welcome. I'm still getting over this illness that I had over the holidays. I know a lot of people have been experiencing that. I don't know if it's COVID, flu, combination of everything. It's just that's the season that we're in right now, I guess. So I apologize for any coughing or hacking that I may do while I'm on the show. But thank you for tuning in. I'm Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. And again, thanks for tuning in, and appreciate the support of the show. Last week, I said that my guest today was going to be Evita Merriam. She's an expert arithmosophist, which is numerologist to a high degree, I guess. I don't know really how to explain it, but she also fell ill and couldn't be here today. So I've rescheduled with her to February 2nd. And due to the changing of the guests around, I decided to handle the show today. This is the midway point of my season number 1 here at Bold Brave TV. I'm going to do something that I haven't done before, and that is I'm going to open up the phone lines later in the show. I'll see if anyone's brave enough to call in with a question a little bit later in the show. Hopefully there'll be some questions. I'm going to go a little deep today. If we have that number, that graphic we could put up on the screen, the number is 866-451-1451. I don't know if we have that, but again, 866. Oh, there it is. 451-1451. My old eyes didn't see that at the bottom of the screen. But the title of today's show is From Within: Unraveling the Power of Thoughts and Emotions in Creating Our Reality. Now, anybody who's been following along with the show know that I'm very big on thoughts and emotions. Big part of the beginning of every year, coaches, they're rolling that out. They want to get us to focus on our mindset. It's very important. It's very important to have that proper mindset, the clear vision of what we want our lives to be when we create our vision boards, update our goals, our dreams, and our visions for our lives. And, like I said, that's one item that I keep coming over and over throughout the series, the importance of the mindset, the quality of our thoughts and emotions. And, many life coaches will tell you, I'm one of them, the quality of your life is based on the quality of your thoughts and emotions. And these are teachings, and these teachings have been around for thousands of years. And so what I'm going over today is kind of my process, how I view things, how I interact with the world and myself and all that. So this is just from personal experience, my studies as an Arhatic yogi, pranic healer, and all that. I'm going to talk about Jesus a little bit. I'm going to talk about Buddha. I'm not going to get real religious, but these are teachers, and we need to listen to them. They've been around for thousands of years. And, I love Christ. I love Buddha. But, Jesus spoke about the importance of the quality of our thoughts and emotions in through various, teachings and parables. He emphasized the significance of inner purity, love, and righteousness. And the inner purity is something that we work on in our Hatha Yoga too. It's a big part of it. Pillar number 2, inner purification. But for example, with Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus taught about the power of thoughts and emotions, stating that harboring anger or lust in one's heart is equivalent to committing the act itself. We're just taking that on. We're creating that in ourselves. He also emphasized the importance of forgiveness, compassion, loving one's enemies. These teachings highlight the transformative impact of cultivating the positive thoughts and emotions as they contribute to a more virtuous and fulfilling life. And again, virtue, we need to be virtuous. Arhatic yoga, we work on our virtues, character building. It's a big part of our practice. So Jesus' teachings have been around 2,000 years. We listen to the teachings, but I don't know that many of us actually put them into practice, right? Other spiritual masters and teachers have emphasized the significance of thoughts and emotions. And I'm telling I just want to go through this real quick just to set the importance of it. These are teachings from masters from 2,000, 2,500 years ago, and it's still so applicable to us in our lives. The Buddha taught about the role of thoughts and emotions in shaping our experience, emphasized the practice of mindfulness and cultivating positive mental states to attain liberation from suffering, or dukkha, as Buddha called it. Again, Buddha lived 2,500 years ago. We're still hearing the lessons, but we're not putting them into practice. And maybe because we don't understand the why behind why they're saying this. I'm going to get into what I feel the why is. Lao Tzu, he's the ancient Chinese philosopher and founder of Taoism. He spoke about the power of thoughts and emotions and influencing our perception of reality. How do we not perceive reality if not what we think about it and what we feel about it, right? I mean, that is how we're interpreting our reality. And none of our realities are really the same. We have different levels of clairvoyance, we have different traumas, different successes, different failures. It all wraps up into our own personal, individualized reality. Rumi, 13th century Persian poet, he was big on the transformative power of thoughts and emotions. And the goal of the incarnated soul, and I'm going to talk about the incarnated soul in a little bit, is to rise above the ego and become more of a soul-infused personality, as Master Glenn likes to call it. I've heard him say many times. And when we start becoming more infused with our soul level, it is what Jesus said: love and compassion, understanding and forgiveness and gratitude. And I also talk about men being more heart-centered and women need men to be more heart-centered. And it's true, we need to get into our hearts, and we're not there. And I don't know how many millennia men have been trained not to be that. But it's essential if we're going to change the world, right? Those are a few examples. There's so many more spiritual teachers, masters who've spoken about the significance of thoughts and emotions on our spiritual journey. Each tradition and teacher may offer unique insights and practices to help individuals harness that power of their thoughts and emotions for their own personal growth and spiritual development. Take the Stoic philosophers. We have Epictetus, lived roughly 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, he was a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about the importance of controlling our thoughts and our emotions. In his book, Meditations, he encouraged individuals to focus on cultivating virtuous qualities. Again, virtuous. If we want to manifest our true life and find our true soul purpose, we have to do it in a virtuous way. But it's important to cultivate these qualities while maintaining calm and rational mindset, even in the face of adversity. We got to be able to handle our triggers. We got to be able to control our emotions and not fly off the handle. I have been so guilty of that in the past. It's not even funny. So this Seneca, he was, 4 BC to 65 AD. Excuse me. But these Stoic philosophers believe that by developing the mastery over our thoughts and emotions, we can achieve inner tranquility, resilience, and live, again, a more virtuous and fulfilling life. These teachings continue to inspire individuals seeking to cultivate that Stoic mindset in the modern world. I see quotes and memes from Marcus Aurelius almost on a daily basis. He's still widely quoted, and we're still hearing it, but not putting it into practice. But these teachings have been around for thousands of years. We hear them, we're not doing anything about it. And one thing that Master Choa always says, and what's really stuck with me, is follow simple instructions. The instructions are easy. The work isn't necessarily easy. It takes focus. It takes constancy and one pointedness of aim and effort, which is a virtue that we work on in Arhatic yoga. But that's why a spiritual practice like Arhatic yoga is so powerful. Arhat meaning saint, yoga meaning union. We're trying to become one with our higher soul. And what a great book on that is this book here, Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul. And I'm going to show some illustrations of this book in a little bit, but that is an excellent book if you want to really get into the technology behind the soul and the spiritual cord and the three chords of life, emotions, and consciousness that is embedded into our physical being until we die. So it's all about the self. It's all about the self-mastery, and that is the goal of Arhatic yoga, self-mastery. We want to be masters of our physical, mental, and emotional bodies because that's who we are at the end of the day as a soul. But it's hard to have a clear vision of how we want our lives to be when it's so chaotic in our heads. And I know most people just have thoughts looping all the time. And we're not looking at the lives that we want with excitement and enthusiasm and confidence, and that we can change our fate and our destiny. We can live the life we want. We just don't have that passion. We're just so unsure of ourselves. We have so many traumas and negative just life experiences. And not everybody's like that. A lot of people have, very beautiful lives, very successful lives. But guess what? Their energy bodies, their thoughts and emotions are excited, right? They're successful. They can't wait for the next day. And it just, feeds on itself. But I want you to consider this when it comes to having that clear mindset. Is from the Bible, Mark 11:24. What Jesus said was, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." That is a very powerful statement. This is the key to manifestation. We learn that in the Kriya Shakti workshops. We have to have that clear vision of the life that we want. We want to feel it emotionally. We want to feel that joy surrounding your vision, the love, the success, the happiness, the improved spirituality, helping others, being of service. That's what life is about, right? And these teachings, again, they've been around for thousands of years. These teachings are universal in nature. It applies to everybody. I submit to you this: if these teachings weren't effective and necessary for our personal and spiritual evolution, they wouldn't have survived to this day. I mean, I grew up Catholic. I have a very strong connection to Christ, but I love learning the teachings of the great masters and philosophers. I love learning about Buddhism and Hinduism, just whatever religions that are preaching love and compassion, forgiveness. So these teachings are there. They've remained unchanged. And it's time, like I said, as Master Choe would say, follow simple instructions, right? Step one is working on cultivating a still mind, getting our thoughts and emotions under control. There's energy in your thoughts. There's energy in your emotions. The more powerful emotion you have with your thoughts, it's going to create powerful thought forms. And then we're really, we're creating from that. We're creating good or we're creating bad. How passionate are you one way or the other that, oh my God, life is so great, so perfect. Wow. I'm creating this beautiful life for myself, or conversely, overpowered negative thoughts and emotions are damaging. But people want to poo-poo the energy body. We have energy body. I'm going to get to that in a second. With the energy body consists of the energy centers, also called chakras. But many people get tuned out when you start talking about our energy bodies, energy centers, nadis, meridians, etc. We know that there's an energy body. It is measurable. There are tools to measure it. It's undeniable, really. But I'm going to continue more with that. It's time to take a short commercial break. I'm your host, Bob Kozarek, and we're streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. And I'll be right back with more about the energy body right after this.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. As I was saying before the break, I started to talk about energy healing. That should be no surprise. I am a pranic healer. It is what I study, and as a Hatha yogi, we study, the soul. We want to be connected with the soul. But before I go on with that, let me ask you a question, and I want you to think about it. What do you think happens to us when we die? Our bodies stay here. Most of us have seen a dead body. There's no life force. Where did the life force go? I know most cultures have a universal belief that our spirit and soul goes to heaven. I mean, it's a widely believed thing. People have no problem believing that, the metaphysics of that, heaven, eternal life, eternal soul. But my next question, and I don't usually get a good answer from anybody when I ask this question, is why can't you recognize the soul while it's still in your body? Why does everybody, his soul left, his spirit left? All right, my soul is here right now in me. It's who we truly are. So let me ask you another question. How many out there are running on autopilot? The thoughts are just flowing. You can't stop them. It's hard to focus. Even when you're just going about your day, you're just lost in thought. How many times have you driven from A to B, don't even know how you got there because you're just thinking, are you actively thinking those thoughts? Or are they just rolling? Does that sound like you? And if that's you, I'm sorry, but you're running on autopilot and you're not really fully in control of your own vessel. So many of us run on autopilot. We really don't have that focus of thought when we need the focus of thought. That's why we're stuck. And that's why we can't seem to make forward progress after a point to the extent that we desire. We're just really not in control. Again, next question. Are you actively thinking these thoughts or are they just coming? I know they're just coming. I know that for a fact. I experience that, right? But be honest, you're not actively thinking. The thoughts are just coming. And if this doesn't frighten you, it should, right? Because we're kind of out of control with that. So let's be aware of these thoughts. Let's just be aware of them. Just step back for a second, right? These thoughts are flowing. Don't engage them. Just watch them go by. Right? You're just seeing those thoughts. You're like being aware of the thoughts. When you start becoming aware of the thoughts, you start becoming the awareness behind the thoughts. Now you're the awareness behind the thoughts. You're not the thoughts. You're the awareness behind it. You follow me? All right. So now when you start just noticing you're just the awareness behind the thoughts, you start getting closer to your true self, your more divine self, the energetic consciousness and awareness. That's who we truly are, right? So if we are energetic consciousness, to me, this makes much more sense how that we're created in the image and likeness of God, which is something that we hear about. God is sometimes described as omnipotent, all powerful, omniscient, all knowing, and omnipresent, meaning present everywhere at all times. And having God, the energetic consciousness, to me, makes much more sense on how that's possible. God is in everything. We hear that. Quantum physics. God is in everything. And as children of God, we're part of God. And God is interwoven into the fabric. So we're not the body, we're the soul. We are energetic consciousness, right? So we're connected to the universe as well. We might be in these bodies, and separation is just an illusion, but we are still connected to the source. And if we're all individually one with God, then we are all one with all. You, my brothers and sisters, we are all one. We are all connected to that soup, into that matrix, for whatever term that makes most sense to you. So to sum up, our incarnated soul, which is energetic consciousness, is attached to the body. We are a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. The body is what is discarded and the soul moves on. And this is why we have an energy body, right? It's the operating system of our soul. Doesn't that make a little bit more sense now? I'm an engineer. That's the way I look at it. When the energy body shuts down, the physical body dies and the soul leaves the body. So I want to show you a picture of the energy body if we do have that. Let's see. There we go. All right. So this is from Achieving Oneness with the Higher Self. You can see the man in there. You got the energy centers coming down the body. You have the meridians coming down the leg. And around the body, you have your etheric aura, which is the aura of the etheric body, your body double, basically the energetic version of your physical body. I guess is just an easy way to say that. Above that, hold on one second. Sorry. We have the emotional or the astral body in green, or the aura, that's showing the aura, but we have a mental body. And we also have, the emotional body and the mental body, as evidenced by the auras there. So we have a mental body, an emotional body, and a physical body. Mental body, emotional body, energy. Now you see why the thoughts and emotions are so powerful. I mean, that is filling up our energy body with anything negative. I think we have another photo, if I could throw that up there, the aura. So this is just like an illustration of your aura just filled with negative thought forms and all kind of gunk and negativity. So when it's filled up like that, you can't even see anything clearly. You can't. So as pranic healers, we sweep auras and we kind of help with that situation. But that's what happens when we fill our energy bodies with doubts and fears, anxieties, negative self-talk, old programs. It's energetically, we start looking like Pigpen, I guess you would say. So, all right, we could take that down. But it's like having too many bugs on the windshield. It's hard to see through. It's difficult to have a clean, clear vision for your life without working on your mindset. It just energetically, we're creating with our thoughts and our emotions. We are energetic beings. We are energetic souls. We are beings of divine light, love, and power. So that's what's happening in the background, whether you know it or not. At least that's how I look at it. That's how I kind of go about it. So when you're beginning to cultivate a higher level of mental stillness, and you begin to have better emotions and excitement about what inspires you, what drives you, life will begin to unfold for you. And you'll begin to tapping deeper into yourself, and you will find your soul's purpose through that process. The only way you'll find your soul's purpose is to get in contact with your soul. And to get in contact with your soul, you need to live a more virtuous life. You need to start looking for that divinity in you. So we do have that innate ability to create our own realities. We'll be able to have that clear vision. And as Jesus says, believe that you have received it and it is yours. And I do have to say that I do believe, it needs to be virtuous. We can't just, just want stuff just because we want to have, look cool, be cool, feel cool. We don't want to play to our ego. We're made in the image and likeness of God. We don't want to play small. There's no reason to play small. But we think we are our bodies, but we're not. The body is just the vehicle of the soul. So a couple of points I want to just make here. Again, I just want to really bring these home. Most major religions have that universal understanding that we'll go to heaven or somewhere when we die. The body stays behind, our soul discards it and moves on and grabs a new body for the next incarnation when the time is right. So why is it such a leap to reflect on what the soul is doing in the body while it's still in the body? That's a paradigm shift, right? That is a shift. Once you make that shift, everything else starts to kind of make sense. At least it does for me on an engineering level. So the energy body, the energy centers, or the chakras are what I refer to as the operating system of the incarnated soul. So like I said, I look at it as a system and a technology. But if you get anything out of this episode, your time with me today, listening to me today, I hope it's that you start paying attention to yourself. You do that self-inner reflection, and you look for your true self, which is the incarnated soul in your energy body. I think the shift that I would love to see happen, and I think needs to happen for us to grow and bring consciousness to a higher level, is to make that shift to we are not a body with the soul. We are a soul with the body. Remember Corinthians 6:19. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit? What do you think that means? So we need to treat our bodies better as well, because we need to keep it strong. The more strength you have in your physical body, the more divine energy you can bring in. The more divine energy you can bring in as you build up your spiritual cord, it makes you a powerful healer. Your energy body gets stronger. You can do more work. You can move the work more. But again, achieving oneness with the higher soul is full of information. It talks about the I am that I am. It talks about meditation on twin hearts. It talks about the spiritual cord and the permanent seeds, and it's really fascinating read. I don't, every time I read it, and I spent a lot of time reading it this afternoon, just reviewing it, but you learn a little more, you get a little deeper, better understanding every time it seems that you read one of Master Choa's books. So I'd like to see everybody learn to step back from the thoughts and watch them go by. I asked one of my clients once, are you actively trying to generate the thoughts that are flowing? And she looked at me and her answer was no. And that's terrifying. And it should be terrifying. Eckhart Tolle calls it insanity. We just live in an insane world stuck in our heads. We're not living. We're just existing. Right? The work we need to do is self-mastery, the inner work, the work of the self, the work of the soul. It's why we are here. We are here to learn, to grow, and evolve. Right? It's through our own personal growth and development that we contribute to the world and to the people around us. Right? There's a planetary consciousness. There's a country consciousness. There's a family consciousness. We are all one. We're all spiritual beings having our own human experiences. None of us are having the same experience. We have different experiences, failures, successes, traumas. But due to the fact that we are all tied up as one into this great cosmos, which really is the only thing that makes sense. So, we are one with God, we are one with all. But being tied into that, the net effect of our energetic output and the energetic output of the another 7.8 billion souls, that's creating the reality of the world that we live in. That's what's manifesting. We have a country consciousness. We got our own consciousness, right? And it goes up from there, from ourselves on up, because we are all one and we all contribute to it. You can see the world that is today, the wars, the corruption, people selling fear, divisiveness, hate, racial divide, all that. And we need to turn that off. We need to turn off anyone and everyone who is selling hate or anything or anyone stoking the fears of negative emotions within us. That is not healthy. It's divisive. If people aren't talking like Jesus said about love and compassion, forgiveness and understanding, for all beings, our enemies, everybody, just turn it off. Don't fill your energy body with that hate and divisiveness. It's unhealthy. You don't buy into it. Use your discernment. Don't be brainwashed for the constant inundation of negativity. It's awful. But I want to finish a point before you turn me off right now, and I'm going to say something, and I'm just doing this to illustrate something. I don't know how many people are listening, but you have a good feel for me. Most people think that I'm a very kind, generous, loving person, big heart, all that. But what if I told you I am a raging MAGA Republican? I am a MAGA all the way. Does that trigger anything in you? Does that trigger any type of hate or disdain in you towards me? And if so, why? I haven't changed from the person that I was until a person I said I'm a MAGA Republican, right? Conversely, what if I said I'm so far left, I'm as liberal can be. And if you don't agree with me, I'm going to make it my mission to cancel you, right? I'm not saying I'm either one of them. Just for your information, neither the Republicans or the Democrats in the United States are correct. On Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path, number one is right viewpoint. The right viewpoint essentially will be agreeable to all parties. And we are so far away from that in society today. And it's negatively affecting our national consciousness as well as the overall planetary consciousness. Why are we hating our fellow man just because we disagree with them on a policy? I just don't understand. But it's the constant, I think, incoming of fear and divisiveness and all that we see in the world today. So please turn it off, watch a nice comedy or something. But it's time to take another short commercial break. I am your host, Bob Kolazaric, and we're streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back after this.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Hopefully, you guys, your eyes aren't glazing over. I just really want to set the tone, for mindset, thoughts, and emotions, which I talk about all the time. But why is it so important? The energetics behind it, the inside baseball in our world. Is really how we create. I was reading Spiritual Truths by Master Glenn. This was a few years ago, and I was reading it, and I read something where it said thoughts are seeds. Now, I read and heard thoughts are seeds many, many times. Thoughts are the seeds of how we start creating our life, right? We don't do anything without thinking about it first. But when I read it, it's like, oh shit, thoughts are seeds. Oh my God, erase them all. I mean, if we can create thought forms, we can erase them, right? And we can disintegrate them. We have the tools to do that. But it was like panic, like, oh my gosh. But ever since then, I've been really so focused on trying to keep a good mindset and a healthy mindset and creating a sense of presence. Which is a big part of it too. But anyway, back to what I was talking about before the break. We're too divided, and aggressively so, towards one another as a country. I mean, we have friends and neighbors and people we grew up with, both sides of the aisle, Republican, Democrat, whatever. But, do you really hate these people when you're sitting across from them in church? Are you bringing that hate in your heart to church? Oh my gosh, that person's a red guy or that person's a blue guy. No. You gotta look at what's triggering it inside of you. And trust me, I learned about my triggers when I was taking care of my ex-wife. I haven't told this story yet on the air, but I did end up taking care of her with her chemo for 8 to 9 months after our divorce was finalized. But I need to save that for another day. But what we do need is healing. We need love towards all. So let's create a wonderful existence for ourselves. And remember, when you start feeling that hate towards someone, look within and reflect on why. Why is the MAGA person with their personal beliefs bothering you so much? Have they caused you any direct harm? Same goes for the liberal Democrats. People can have their beliefs. We can respect them. We can love them. We can love them from afar. We don't have to be hanging out with them if they're... but we don't have to hate them. We can respect them. So we got to remember what Dr. Martin Luther King said. We have that. And that is, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And we got both sides hating on each other. And it's not working. So if you operate with hate in your heart, you're missing your internal connection. Soul energy is about love, understanding, compassion, forgiveness. This is where we need to be. It will help us heal individually, and it will propel us forward in such a more divine way. We'll be propelled with our own dream, as some of the shamans call it. Planetary consciousness, planetary dream, individual consciousness, individual dream. If we change our thoughts, we can change our dream. And so when we change our dream, our consciousness, we change the consciousness of the people around us eventually. And we're all putting it into the soup. We're all putting it into the mix. So as we all grow, we can get to the tipping point where that positive energetic output overtakes that negative output. And we'll see a planetary shift. We could have heaven here on earth. I'll tell you, when I'm in narcotic retreats up in Bovina, and there's 100, 200 narcotic yogis all tapping into their own divinity. You bring the energy down, energy's flowing. It is a different feeling. It's a microcosm of how the world could be. There's a lot of magic in that. There's a lot of love. There's like things just get resolved. People's issues get resolved. It's like everything just falls into place and the way it should be. But there are so many light workers out there, and we need more. We need more. We need you to pick up the torch. We need you to ignite your inner light. And we need to collectively raise the consciousness of the planet. And we start by raising our own consciousness. It's who we are. It's who we're supposed to be, and we need to reawaken to that. But another big factor in what I do in my practice, in addition to stressing the importance of the thoughts and emotions, but we also want to create periods of no mind and awareness at different points of the day. It's when we're still and aware, we're more in tune with our higher nature, because that's the stillness and the awareness. That's when we're in our energetic consciousness. But to be consciously aware, one must be present in the now. They must be present. There's no thoughts of the past going on. You're not obsessing about the future. You're just being present. So your mind is just not even, you're just focused on doing what you're doing. And this is a huge step. This is a very important step. This is a follow simple instruction step, but it's not easy. It's not easy practice. It gets easier over time, but it is super important, because when we're just truly just being in the present, we are truly being more of our divine selves. Does that make sense? We're not contributing any thoughts and negativity to anything. We're just living. We're being. We're enjoying ourselves. We're enjoying the people that we're with. We're enjoying the projects that we're working on. We're just being, and we're living. We're not pushing negative thoughts and fears into our futures, right? When we do that, it just mucks up our present. We can't move forward, and we're wondering why life isn't panning out for us. But we are the architects of our own lives. We got the right thoughts, the right emotions, and that stillness and awareness. How do we work to still our minds and create awareness in our lives? Like, Bob, I'm not sold on being a yogi. I don't want the hours of meditation, blah, blah, blah. Another reoccurring thing that I talk about regularly on the show, and many of my guests practicing pranic healers and neurotic yogis, is meditation on twin hearts. Meditation on twin hearts will help you so quickly get into your heart space, and it will help your stillness and awareness. My daughter did meditation on twin hearts for the first time. She's like, I've never had my mind so still. Now, does she practice regularly? No. Should she? Yes. I mean, we all should, really. But Master Choa Kaksui's meditation on twin hearts is very powerful, and it's very transformative. Dr. Chris No was on a couple of weeks ago. He had talked about listening to pranic or meditation on twin hearts. He was exploring different modalities, different spiritualities, whatever he was looking into. But first time he did meditation on twin hearts, he's like, I'm in pranic healing, meditation, twin hearts. That's for me. That was 21 years ago. He's been doing it for 21 years. Hangama, who's on last week, she was the same way. She was looking at different things, meditation on twin hearts. Boom, she knew that was for her. And she's been doing amazing things in the pranic healing community with Prana World and her center in Malaysia and all the help she does for Institute for Inner Studies and the World Pranic Healing Foundation. So she's found her purpose, and she found it at a young age. She's almost 20 years doing this. I had a very profound experience with meditation on twin hearts, and I've shared that before. I don't want to, keep going into it deep, but it is powerful. And not everybody's going to have that kind of powerful reaction. I mean, when it's your time, it's your time, but it can transform you. Trust me. I've seen it in myself. I've seen it in so many other people that I've talked to. It's truly transformative. It reduces stress. The meditation techniques help calm the mind, relax the body, release the tension. It promotes a sense of inner peace, tranquility, allowing you to better cope with the challenges of the day. There's emotional healing through it. By practicing meditation on twin hearts, you can experience the emotional healing, negative emotions, I think Hagen and I were talking last week. It's like some people, when they start doing meditation on Twin Hearts, it's hard. You know, you're letting the emotions go and you're peeling off layers and you'll start to cry. I did. She did. My ex-wife never could get through it. She was always just bawling like right into it. So it's very powerful. You're bringing divine energy in and it's flushing you out. But you'll release those negative emotions, anger, sadness, anxiety. It helps to cultivate positive emotions as well, like love and joy and forgiveness. We want to get into our heart space, twin hearts, heart chakra and the crown chakra, the earthly heart, the universal heart. But we have to open the heart chakra first. And then when you open up the heart chakra, you can start opening up your crown chakra. But women, get your men to do meditation on Twin Hearts with you. It's a beautiful practice to do together, and it will help get your guy's heart activated. You guys, ladies, looking for heart-centered men, see if you can get them to do some meditation on Twin Hearts. That would be a really nice way to get a start on that. Meditation on Twin Hearts improves mental clarity and focus. Regular practice of this meditation enhances mental clarity, concentration, focus, and it really helps to reduce that mental chatter. Creates, stillness. It enhances our energy levels. It gets the free-flowing energy flowing through our body, which is like for pranic healers. All right, you can get congestion in your body and any of the chakras, anywhere your chakras or energy centers start getting congested. You don't have good movement going. That's where you're going to get sick. There's a lag time between, your energy body getting sick and then a lag time to your physical body. So, but there's heightened spiritual connection with it. You're going to improve your relationships. The practice of this meditation, like I said, promotes love, kindness, and compassion. Can we talk about love, kindness, and compassion? Let's talk about love. Let's be loving. Let's do that. And it also creates physical healing. When you're having that flow of energy and the divine energy, balances the chakras. It supports the body's natural healing process, and it contributes to overall well-being. But it's important to note that not everybody's individual experiences are going to be the same. Consistent practice is key. So just to sum up, cultivate stillness, meditation, twin hearts, get control of your energy bodies, mental and emotional energy bodies. It's time to take another short commercial break. I am your host, Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'll be right back.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'm glad I was able to have this time today, and I just been thinking about putting, this out for a while, how I kind of view the world, how I see things in terms of technology. It's how life. That's how I go about my life. I cultivate that positive mindset, keeping the thoughts and emotions under control, or making them happy. Being happy, being excited about the life. I'm living the life that I want to live right now. I'm living my soul purpose. I changed my dream. These are the tools that I use to do it. We, need to have that process to create that clear, happy, positive vision in all areas of our life. The vision boards are good. Excellent tool, actually. But the why behind your vision is super important. The why is critical. Is it for your higher good? Or is it just because you want status? Or do you want to contribute? The why is important. Hopefully it'll be coming from the heart and soul. Yeah, that's important. And we need to practice the stillness and awareness by being present. This keeps us connected to our true selves, the awareness behind everything. It allows us to live life and allow the universe to work for us. I notice when I'm doing that, when I have got clear vision and I have good thoughts, and not that I always do, but and I'm being present, it's amazing how opportunities just flow and present themselves to you. It might be a person that you needed to meet, or it might be people that been bothering you that kind of just disappear out of your life, or whatever it is. Just the energy flow, and just everything flows to your higher good and for your higher good. And it really is magical. It is really a magical thing, and it makes life worth living. I mean, it just starts to make it fun. That's my experience. But anyway, most of us require cleaning and energizing of our energy centers, eliminating those negative thought forms, cleaning the auras. The energy work combined with meditation on twin hearts will really kickstart your progress like no tomorrow. I promise you that. So yeah, if you need a healing, call me. I mean, we all need healings. Shifts can happen. And one thing that I would hope, if you're not a yogi and you're listening or watching, and this is kind of new to you, I just want to ask you if you could be open to this one simple shift. And that shift is, I am a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. This is a profound shift in thinking, and it changes the way you interact with the world. I mean, it just creates, like I said, it's magic. It's just magic. A couple other items that I wasn't able to get to today. Part of the universal technology, as I view it, the yang and yin golden rule. The yang, do unto others that you don't want them to do unto you. And then the yang and yin, yang masculine, yin feminine. Don't do to others what you don't want them to do unto you. And these are simple instructions, right? Builds good karma that way. You want to create better karma for yourself? Plant it by planting good seeds. We reap what we sow, right? What types of seeds are you sowing for yourself? Do you plant seeds of love by being loving? You plant seeds of prosperity by being generous and tithing to people? Do you provide service? What if you need service some point down the road? You're not doing the service to anybody. Anybody going to help you out? If we build that karma, we plant those seeds, we're going to reap that. Spirituality. My goal is to help other people grow spiritually. As I help other people to grow spiritually, I'm entitled karmically to grow spiritually. And at some point on the spiritual path, if you want to continue to grow, you need to start helping people. And then that's our mission. A lot of us, that are on this show, that have been on this show, we all have that shared mission. And it's a beautiful thing. So next week, I am going to have as my guest Kim Sire from Pranic Healing Pen. I name drop Kimmy a lot. I mentioned her in multiple episodes. She gave me my first real pranic healing treatment in my first level 2 class, the Advanced Pranic Healing Workshop. Like I said, I talked about it in episode 1. It got my attention real fast, and I have not stopped ever since in my pranic healing career. She guided me towards Arhatic yoga, which is what I was really looking for at the time, just to be, just to have that spiritual practice. I was really hungry for that. But then COVID hit, and she was my COVID healing pod leader and became my mentor in the Associate Certified Pranic Healing Program and the Certified Pranic Healing Program. So I did eventually become, proficient healer, even though that wasn't how I wanted to start out. But anyway, she's also a dear friend of mine. I don't know where I would be without her. I certainly wouldn't be here doing this show, that's for sure. So I'm looking forward to having her on the program with me. But that's all I have for tonight. I hope got you thinking a little bit. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. You can find me at Self-Help Coaching LLC on Facebook. You can find me at Self-Help Coaching on Instagram, or self-help-coaching-LLC on LinkedIn. I hope you hook up with me and keep in touch. So that's all I got for today. Until next week, I'm Bob Kolazarek, and you've been watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Namaste, everyone.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarek. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the Bold Brave TV network.